have a cool idea of what you're looking for in another person? Is it the color of your eyes, your height, or your sense of smell? Interpersonal attraction is described in social psychology as a positive attitude or evaluation towards a certain person that consists of three components: behavioral, inclination to approach the person; cognitive, positive views about the person; and affective or positive feelings for the person. We'll be looking at these psychological things that make you less attractive, so take note. Number 1, bad grammar. That's correct. A poor command of the English language or whatever language you're using to woo a potential mate can be off-putting to a love interest, especially if you're active in the online dating scene. According to one survey, the majority of men and women admit to rejecting online suitors merely because of poor language and misspellings in their dating profiles. 75% of the 9,000 online daters polled in the study also indicated they would reject a partner who would pass a 5th grade spelling bee. For the record, my oldest is in 4th grade, and I can attest that some of those spelling words are more difficult than you might imagine. So what is it about poor grammar that turns people off? Aside from indicating a lack of knowledge, terrible language, and things like lazy spelling and a lack of punctuation, yes, periods are a major matter, appear to indicate a lack of interest. After all, if you're not dedicated enough to ending sentences in your dating profile or Tinder messages with periods, how serious are you about having an adult relationship? You don't have to write like Shakespeare, but if you want to be taken seriously, brush up on fundamental grammar before swiping right. Number 2, your youthful looks. While you may believe that looking young gives you an advantage in the dating scene, this is not necessarily the case. According to one study, when children are born to parents beyond the age of 30, they are less likely to be drawn to people with young faces and more likely to be attracted to possible spouses whose faces show indications of aging. To put it in another way, a distinguished appearance outperforms youth, at least in this case. As the population gets more saturated when people born to so-called older parents, the preference for older faces may win out. For the first time, women in their 30s are having more babies than women in their 20s. You do the calculations. Number 3, the shirt on your back. That's right, people. If you're a man seeking to attract a woman, consider wearing a red shirt. According to this study, women regard males in red as more strong and beautiful, which are 2 crucial attributes to look for in a spouse. This appears to apply only to heterosexual couples, although it appears to be successful across cultures. Red is associated with love and passion, and it appears frequently as a sign of eros, lust, and fertility in ancient mythology, folklore, and rituals. Researchers gave participants a photo of a moderately beautiful male, were guessing Vince Vaughn for 5 seconds during the trial. The man's clothing color was digitally modified. Some participants saw him in a red shirt, while others saw him in a white or blue shirt. The red shirt man routinely outperformed his other shirted counterparts, but the only difference was the color of his shirt. Interestingly, when the genders were reversed, the effect did not occur. Men preferred the female models in white shirts over any of the other colors. Number 4, cake up. Everyone appears to prefer a natural look, but is this supported by science? As the saying goes, less is more. Number 5, your appetite. Hungry men thought women with higher body weights were more attractive. When those males had something to eat and were no longer hungry, they no longer found those identical ladies appealing. I'm not sure what lesson to draw from this, considering I'm a strong proponent of looking whichever you want to look, and 2, not being hungry. But you go ahead and make the dinner reservation. If you don't feel a spark after you've cleaned your plate, it could be due to this impact. Number 6, your table manners. When it comes to being hungry, be careful what you eat in front of a potential romantic partner. Put your phone away if you're out to lunch with someone. If you keep gazing at the screen and composing messages, you're sending the plain message that you don't find your date fascinating. It's important to look things up now and again. Number 7, a smidge of stubble versus a boastworthy beard. While both homosexual men and straight women favor males with more masculine looks, men have little influence over whether or not they have prominent brows and powerful jawlines. What they do have control over is the type of facial hair they're wearing. According to research, heterosexual women prefer guys with a specific sort of facial hair. Unfortunately, it's not the mountain man mega beard appearance, nor is it the clean-shaven look. There is a silver lining. If you have a thick beard, you are more likely to be perceived as masculine and a good parent. That's not to mean you should hurry to the restroom and shave your mighty beard down to its uneven roots. Of course, the goal is to keep a nice, even amount of facial hair, and if you prefer a large beard, grow one. You'll eventually meet someone who appreciates the time and effort that goes into a truly massive beard. Number 8. Flashing a smile, or not. In what turns out to be a pretty perplexing study, men found smiling women more appealing, but women found smiling males less attractive. Women said men were more appealing when they demonstrated indicators of pride, such as a faint smile and a raised fist, rather than flashing their dazzling whites. Regardless of these findings, keeping your teeth white and sparkling is always a good idea. Number 9. Your attitude. There is no such thing as fake it till you make it when it comes to dating. People can detect deception whether they are meeting someone online, through a friend, or in a pub. The more you try, the more you'll pretend to be someone you're not, and the more people you'll fool. And of course, I don't mean to appear arrogant and aloof when I tell them to be confident. You must be willing to look for love. You must be willing to attract a mate. Be comfortable in your skin and honest about who you are while smiling brightly and remaining enthusiastic and hopeful about the possibilities. Number 10. Too much personality. Although dating can entail putting your best foot or face forward and flaunting your assets, don't underestimate the value of humility. Humility is the most beautiful thing to me, so when a guy I went on a first date with years ago boasted about his 6-figure salary and BMW, I puked a little in my mouth. Fancy cars and heaps of cash would entice me. Instead, I slurped my spaghetti with meat sauce and ran out the door. Confidence is an admirable attribute, but so is humility. Present yourself as confident but humble. After watching this video, what will you be improving yourself on? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Fourth to be notified of amazing content like this. Thank you so much for watching.